Hello, let's take a look at daily oral language number 78. Now, don't allow the length of the sentence or the crazy amount of errors to dissuade you from the fact that you can fix this sentence. You can fix everything. In fact, all of the things that are wrong with this sentence, we have gone over several times in all 77 sentences previous to this one. So you're going to just read through it, confidently go through it, and fix everything that you see wrong using the tricks and the techniques that I have shown you in these previous 77 sentences. You're going to surprise yourself by how well you do. So I'm going to read this out loud. The first thing I'm going to point out when I'm reading it out loud is that there are two pauses in this sentence, and you're going to put commas in those pauses, of course. Now, remember, the best way to find out where commas and periods go in sentences is to read them out loud and realize if you are doing pauses or stops. Notice when I read this that there are two distinct pauses. Okay. Manny has wrote an article called Website Designing, who will appear in the March issue of Laptop, the magazine about computers. You may have heard those two pauses. I'll read it again. Manny has wrote an article called Website Designing, who will appear in the March issue of Laptop, the magazine about computers. So clearly, we have a pause after designing, and we have a pause after laptop. And while we're at it, why don't we put a period at the end of the sentence and we'll finish all our punctuation, but that certainly is not all the problems with this sentence. Let's go back to the top and let's fix everything word by word and line by line. So let's capitalize Manny, of course. Now, can I say Manny has wrote? You can't put has and wrote together. Now, I can keep the word wrote in this sentence, but I would have to do what? Correct. I have to get rid of the word has. So you can say Manny wrote an article. Well, technically you can't say a article. Let's fix a while we're at it. And it would be an article because we know the next word starts with a vowel. So it's an article. But let's go back and look at this. Can we say Manny wrote an article? We absolutely can. That sounds fine. But there's another way to say that he wrote this. And I can say Manny, put has back in. You can't say Manny has wrote, but you can say Manny has written. So we have Manny has written an article called Website Designing. Okay, I see three things wrong with the title Website Designing. One, let's capitalize it, of course. Good. Two, designing is spelled wrong. That reads like designing, and that doesn't make sense to me. Remember, design is D-E-S-I-G-N. I know that G is silent, and that's annoying. English has a lot of words like that where it's not spelled the way it sounds. You have to learn it, and you have to remember it. So let's continue. And the last thing we do to the title of articles, we put in quotation marks. And then in this case, I know this is annoying, we put the comma inside the quotation marks. I know it's not part of the title, but it's part of this sentence, and that's where we're going to pause. It doesn't go on the outside. So we have Manny has written an article called Website Designing, comma quotes, good, who will appear? All right, time out. What's appearing in this magazine? Is it Manny or is it his article? No, it's his article is appearing in the magazine. So it's not who will appear because who deals with people. We want to put which deals with things. So which will appear. Look at appear. We need to add another P in appear. That's clearly misspelled. Good. In the March issue of Laptop, two things we have to do with March issue. One, we have to capitalize March, of course. And issue is misspelled. Let's add another S to issue. Good. Now let's take a look at the title Laptop. Okay. Laptop is the title of a magazine. Magazines have lots of articles within them. The articles get quoted because they're shorter, but the title of the magazine itself gets underlined to show that it's longer and it has a lot of articles in there. So that's longer. And now notice I do not underline that comma because technically the comma is not part of the title. It's part of my sentence. So make sure you don't underline that. Good. Let's continue. The magazine about computers. Everything looks okay with that. Magazine is spelled correctly. About is spelled correctly. Computers is spelled correctly. We have a period at the end of the sentence. I believe we got everything in here. Let's take a look and see if we did. So we capitalize Manny, of course, because that's his name. Also because that word starts our sentence. We said has written because you can't say has wrote, of course, and I show you here. You could put wrote if you want. I could say Manny has written or Manny wrote. We fixed N We fixed and made it N because the next word starts with an A. So it's an article, good, called website designing. Notice I capitalized website designing. I put it in quotes, and I have a comma after the title because we need a comma in this sentence. Even though it's not part of the title, it is part of the sentence. Good. We fixed who to which, of course, because we're talking about an article, not a person. Good. It will appear. We fixed appear. We added another P. We fixed March. We capitalized it. We fixed issue by adding another S. Now, laptop, we capitalized and underlined, but I just want to point out we don't underline the comma because that comma is part of the sentence, not the title. Fantastic. And then we have a period at the end of the sentence. Really, really well done, everybody. Thank you much.